All right, it's another episode of Art and Our Entertainment. I just got cleaned up. Work was pretty nasty, but it was good. It was good hard work. But y'all know what we here for. We here for hardware. That character in the Milestone universe, I feel like he's the most practical out of all of the superheroes that I've read thus far. You know what I'm saying? You got Rocket, you got Icon, and Icon is like he's basically like Superman. And then you have Static Shock, aka Virgil Hawkins, aka Static Shock. He can have lightning come out of his body. You know what I'm saying? Like Thor. And then you have I think I'm missing someone. No, there's so many more that I still have to do my due diligence and read on because I don't think I know I don't know the whole catalog of Milestone comics, and but as seemingly, to my knowledge, Hardware is the most practical out of all the characters thus far because everyone else is so like out there. Everyone else is so out there with basically, superhuman powers. I just explained Static Shock. I just explained Icon, Rocket and Icon. I think Rocket, she's actually human, but she's with a super powered alien, so that gives her the advantage. So I add her to that superhuman too. But yeah, man, he's the most practical, and I think if they ever make this like a cinematic universe, he would be the one that adds a layer of realism to the situation. You know what I'm saying? To the whole spectacle of it all. Seeing Static Shock on the big screen is going to be a spectacle. Um, same thing for Rocket and Icon. It would be such a spectacle where you would have to, you know what I'm saying, get rid of belief and just be like, wow, this is an amazing, just like fantasy. Whereas Hardware, it's about a young black kid who was really smart, really gifted, and he just needed direction and he needed the resources to show the world he was that. And Edwin Alva, who just happened to take him under the wing, because he's seen the kid's potential. Um, he helps build uh, Curtis Metcalf up, aka Hardware, and it's kind of like as he gets older, it's almost like I want to say the only thing I can compare it to, the closest comparison between the relationship of Curtis Metcalf, aka Hardware, and Edwin Alva would be Iron Man 1, where Tony Stark and Obadiah Stane, have their relationship and their clash. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like it's as accurate as it gets as far as, trying to compare it to something else in that first Iron Man movie. And that's the thing too. I read an article where they were saying that Hardware is Milestone Comics Iron Man, and he is. He makes the weapons, and well, he makes his own weapons. He has robotics. He has you know rocket. Rocket boosters on his back that he made. So that's pretty cool. And he has all this different tech that he uses as weapons, and he flies around and fights helicopters and shit. So yeah, man, he by all accounts, he's definitely the Iron Man of Milestone Comics, and I think there's so much that they can cover with his character. Um, I like his comics, definitely. Um, I don't want to say more than Static Shock, but I like the artwork more than Static Shock. So I like the art that they used, and the story is tight too. The story is really tight for Hardware, which I like. I'm really glad that that story has that type of action, and that type of technology use with a very tight knit story. So that's pretty good. I heard some things about this Hardware character, how it's gonna end. I'm interested to see where they go. I read an article about issue 3, and I waited to get issue 2 and 3 of Hardware because, I was so busy, so I didn't get to read the comics, and so I didn't order them. But when I ordered them, I read them. I got back to that article about issue 3, and it was just saying like it's gonna end on not a cliffhanger, but it's gonna end with his Hardware's villains. It's gonna end with him like emerging, or yeah, something to that effect. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool just to know that Hardware actually has a villain catalog. What I'm saying, this is how much I didn't know about these characters. What I'm saying, and it was a little, Milestone Comics in its heyday, it was before my time, so to speak. Like I was like a really young kid who wasn't reading comics, so it's cool that they're gonna introduce his villain. And I think the villain is on issue 5. I'm probably gonna post it up right now. Yeah, so I think that's the villain because it looks kind of crazy right there, right? So yeah, y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna definitely review those next 2 whenever I get them. And I'm gonna be reading issue 3 of Static Shock to my wife right now. So I'm gonna ask her how she feels about this. I may or may not post it. Most likely I'll post it. We'll see. That the Static Shock.